Ready to go back in time, ladies and gentlemen? Because I am. I'm ready to go back to a time when the Sega Genesis soundtracks rocked video games. I'm ready to go back to a time where all it takes is 4 consecutive punches to make you feel satisfied. And where real bands have their music translated to video games. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage. I'm your LP here for today, capital G. And just a few liner notes before we go after our Red Ugly friend. Note 1 is this is the Sega Genesis version of the game. 2 reasons I choose this version as opposed to the Super Nintendo game. They're the exact same game, but I had a Sega Genesis growing up. I was on the Sega side of things during the 16-bit era. Therefore, I played and finished this game on the Sega Genesis. Way back when. It's been a very long time since I've done so. And the other reason is the fact that the music sounds better on the Sega Genesis than it does on the Super Nintendo. In my opinion. Like, the instrumentation is fuller on the Super Nintendo version of the game, but it sounds a lot more forced. It doesn't naturally sound like a heavy metal song. Because the Super Nintendo sound chips weren't really made for heavy metal sounds. Sega Genesis, on the other hand, was a lot more rebellious at the time. So let's jump right in. Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage. So we got a nice way of introducing the story. Some of the art that we see in the game is actually from the Maximum Carnage comic book series. When I say series, it was a story told over several different Spider-Man lines over 14 issues. But they weren't all as part of, for example, the Amazing Spider-Man or the Radioactive Spider-Man. They were spread out over different editions. So that made it quite the collectible story. It features a lot of the lesser-known Marvel characters. You saw our cast of characters in the beginning there. Like, with the exception of Captain America and our main protagonist and antagonists, yeah, there's just a lot of less-known characters. If you don't read the comic books, you probably won't know who Cloak and Dagger are. You probably won't know who Firestar is. So on and so forth. And some of the villains introduced, like Doppelganger and Shriek. Again, I don't remember ever seeing them in the mainstream Spider-Man movies. I don't remember ever seeing them in the mainstream Spider-Man cartoons. Now, Doppelganger a little bit, if Doppelganger is actually Vulture after he ended up absorbing Spider-Man's advanced mutation in the 1990s TV series. Anyways, that did happen. So unless Doppelganger is in fact a post-transformed Vulture, then none of these villains, save for Carnage, ever showed up in the cartoon series. And the story is simple. It's pretty simple. It's Carnage wants revenge on Spider-Man and Venom for incarcerating him. And also to cause as much chaos as possible. So that's how they run into Doppelganger. They just randomly see him because he thinks he's Spider-Man at first. He's sort of cute in a sick and deranged sort of way. Oh wow. I love the cheeky humor of comic books. I do like comic books, although I never seriously collected them. The only series I collected was actually the Sonic the Hedgehog comic books that were published by Archie Comics. They're good, but yeah. I wish I had the Maximum Carnage comics. So here we go. Cutscenes are over. Game on, motherfuckers. Standard beat 'em up. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 punches of doom. You can use webbing to pull people in. So controls are as follows. C towards. C towards does the webbing thing. Up makes you pick people up when you have them grappled. You can grapple people just by walking up to them. B's to jump. You can do aerial attacks. And it's attack to throw someone once you have them up over your shoulders. Also, as long as you land consecutive hits without taking damage, you have a power meter that charges up. And it gives you a one-shot special attack. It's usually enough to knock off most minor enemies in one hit. You can also pick up objects on the stage, and boom! Now, as in any beat-em-up, the enemies will try to flank you if they can. And they will get tougher as the game goes on. They look repetitive at first, but as the game goes on, they introduce more and more different kinds of enemies. Usually they first introduce them as bosses, and then after you beat them, they'll show up in future stages as... well, they'll show up in future stages as minor enemies. So they won't take as many hits as they would if they were bosses, but... boom! Let's see, other notes. Yes, the special attack meter does not charge up when you use an aerial attack. I don't understand why that is. Even if you successfully, land, 3 hits with your aerial attack. I want to keep everyone in front of me here. Also, grab items when you can because they're rare. Healing items, and if you ever find 1-ups, they are very rare. Also, in later stages, you're going to find items that represent the other heroes that are featured in the game. I'll talk more about that when they come up. Nice. Now, you see that up there? I want to go up there because that's one of those rare 1-ups I was talking about. And they hide them. They hide these fuckers. Boom! Aw, missed him. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to get that drop attack. Also, you can. It looks really artsy when you do that backwards jump, but you can't really attack when you're doing it. Boom. And what about web slinging? I believe it's this button. Yes, on the if you use the 6-button configuration, it's the Y button to web sling. Oh, I wasted that. I think... no, that's not done yet. Boom, now it's done. So I'm gonna just grab this newspaper because it's boss time. Come on, girls. Boom! Yes, that's right. It's equal opportunities. They're punk chicks they have to fight in this game. And they whip their hair back and forth, so be careful for that. Because it's actually quite powerful. It's an instant knockdown, and it has some spacing. They can block, and they have aerial attacks too, so these girls are actually quite dangerous. And like all boss battles, they actually have their actual life totals hidden. Boom! That's one down. That takes care of Lizzie. Oh, they're both down. Cool! Did that flawlessly. Yeah, and you get a bonus for not missing your punches. For anyone who likes to keep score. Stage 2. Climb on walls. You can jump on the wall just to climb them, and then, of course, web sling is Y. I originally played this game on the 3-button configuration. But on a 6-button configuration, some things are a little bit easier. Such as web slinging. Yeah, I love the spider sense thing going on that tells you how to dodge attacks. Very flavorful, and oh, already up. We got up in a hurry. It's a short little stage. But now that we're here, we have our first encounter with the doppelganger. Not to mention our good old-fashioned Black Sabbath cover. So, as much as I want to fight him, I actually want to destroy that water container first. One up! And boom, one hit kill. Now we go to the cinematic scene where Sheik's all charged up, and she shoots off the rooftop. In the meantime, well, Carnage seems to know J. Jonah Jameson quite well. For better and for worse. Can you guess who's going to help me go on a Venom hunt? Yeah, where is Venom? Yeah, the future's looking bleak with JJ. Although, at least JJ is safe from danger in a sense, because Venom needs JJ. So at least JJ doesn't have to... He can fear for his life, but at least he's not actually going to lose his life. Spider-Man, on the other hand, he just fell off a building. He's hurt. Ribs, killing me. If ambitious punks don't do it first. No, typical Spider-Man humor. I love it. Now this stage, you can come into the stage full health if you want. Actually, you do keep your health. Okay, never mind. I thought you start with less health, like automatically, just as a flavor. So yeah, so already the punks you're gonna find the punks are starting to get a little more aggressive in this stage. Like some of these punks with the Target T-shirt. I'm pretty sure it's not trying to advertise anything. Oh yes, dash attack, by the way. Double tap to dash. I say you don't start the stage hurt, but I'm getting hurt. Boom! Take that, you. There we are. Yeah, I'm trying to be as social as possible with this, but boom! Just threw a dumpster and killed two. Like all the tactics you love from good beat 'em ups work here. So advancing on someone as you're punching them, good idea. Black chicks. Nothing wrong with them normally. Actually, it's pretty funny. When my dad was watching me play this game, they're like, "Doesn't this game encourage beating on women?" I'm like, "It encourages defending yourself against women. All because they're women doesn't mean you let them punch you in the face if they're trying to kill you." And it doesn't get more equality of the sexes than that. Yeah, more hidden gibbons here, so let's go over there, fill up on health, get our one up. Ouch. So you notice that, yeah, the chicks, even though they're not bosses anymore, retain all their abilities, but they're not as quick as the boss versions. At least it doesn't feel as though they're as quick as the boss versions. And that sort of balances out the fact that they're now minor enemies as opposed to bosses. Boom! It's Dana! Dana! There. Bye-bye, Dana. Now let's see. So what else makes this game great, by the way? The backgrounds are actually very nicely detailed. The graphics are really good for their, of course, for Sega Genesis, of course. And they hold up pretty well. Like, on top of that, when you're punching someone, you know you're punching someone. You're not worried about, am I getting their hitbox or not? Because you can see if you're hitting someone, and it's obvious that you are. You don't punch through their face and miss. And the controls are tight. Like, you cannot ask for better controls in a game like this. You can't. And I love the storytelling in the game. Like, the stages are not random, they're actually quite logical. Uh-oh. Yeah, the punks start doing a fancy aerial attack. Boom. You. Yipes. That was close. when Spidey met Sally. She tried to kill him, and Spidey's like, not happening, girl. She tried to whip her hair back and forth, and she failed to. Boss time. So some notes about this. Ouch. Watch that guy. Spider-Man has a hard time knocking him down. Like you do 1, 2, 3, 4 on anybody else, it's a knockdown. But not this guy. But this is actually more of a storyline sequence than it is a boss fight. Like, even if you beat him, more come, and then more come, and then more come until you finally lose. But the longer you last, the more items there are to collect. So it's definitely worth trying to fight and survive as long as possible. These guys are surprisingly mobile for their size, by the way. Yeah, like I said, you'll notice that Spider-Man cannot knock them down just with regular attacks. Boom! Take that, McDuff! Now 4 of them. Because like all the other bosses, they become minor enemies. So, like I said, I'm going to fight on as long as I can and hopefully get more good items. But, I think it's going to be over for me very soon. Yeah. And as you can see, some lesser known characters, Cloak and Dagger, come to Spider-Man's aid here. And he's pretty beat up. He got, in terms of both in terms of story and in terms of what just happened in the game, he got beat up pretty bad. But this church is their home, and this is where we take refuge for a little while. Of course, this being Spider-Man, this doesn't last very long. Knock knock! Incoming doppelganger. So now we get to fight him. Now we're going to be fighting him properly here. But now the problem is we're fighting Sheik as well, and Sheik's attacks are very dangerous. Actually, both their attacks are dangerous because they can attack you from a distance. And you can web Sheik, but you can't web doppelganger, which actually makes perfect sense. I'm just trying to buy myself some space here. This is what a lot of the boss fights against the supervillains will be like. Just trying to make sure you have room to breathe. Because they stay on you. And hopefully after I get one, I can try and toss this table at the other one. Because I think I can. I don't remember if that... I think you can, but I'll have to check that. But I don't have time. Yeah, another thing to watch out for with Sheik is that you're not always going to land that 4th punch, because she's going to run away. If I can just get a knockdown on him, I can grab that table, or try to. No? Okay, I thought you could. You can jump on the table. I wouldn't stay there, though, but you can jump on the table. Boom! Take that, you. And I love how they portray the characters. It's like insane, angry, and just plain physical. Oh no! I did not want to lose that, but I did. Yeah, and Carnage comes in and... Yeah, I don't know if she survived it. I don't think Dagger survived that. I don't remember if she did. But that's something that you see more in the comic books. In the meantime, we can enter Venom. Carnage is in New York. And where's Venom? He's in a mall, transforming in front of a whole bunch of people. Rogue's alien costume, the symbiote Venom, shares his feelings. his thoughts, his feelings, and right now, their mind pool is a jumble of hatred, disgust, and rage. So where's Venom right now? San Francisco. And he's also here on the character select screen. So I'm going to end this episode off here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to record 2 separate games from here. One with Venom and one with Spider-Man. And both of those parts will continue until I reach the hero select screen another time. So with that in mind, I'd like to thank you all for watching this one. I will see you next time. The next one I'll play as is Venom. So I will see you then.